Okay.
All right, ready?
Yes.
I'll go ahead and admit all of them.
Oh, they took all the dumpsters out.
Hello, this is Savannah with JP4. I'm going to need everybody to kind of quiet down and get rid of the background noise. I have you on with the judge right now. He's going to go ahead and swear everybody in. Once he does that, I'm going to put you all back over in the waiting room and we will start by a case-by-case basis. Judge?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is
Good morning.
Lance Consino. I'm Justice of the Peace here in Precinct 4. This is an eviction hearing this morning. If the case is for back rent, then of course, remember that the only defense is payment of back rent. Anyone who is going to be testifying this morning, that is either a tenant or landlord, plaintiff or defendant, or witnesses, anyone who will be testifying this morning will need to be sworn in. So if you'll all raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
I do. I do.
I do.
Everybody back over in the waiting room. Just bear with me a second. Okay, Judge. For today, we're going to start with case number 150.
Okay.
It's Linwood Townhomes and Miranda Flores. No one showed for that case today. No one showed for that case today.
Oh, 150, no one showed?
Correct.
Okay.
And same thing for case 154.
Okay.
And 159.
154 and 159. Okay.
All right, so we're going to start. We'll start with 156. We're going to kind of start from the back and work our way up with the way the defendant showed up today.
Okay.
Start with 156. I am forwarding over an email because I can't print it out. Okay, you should have two emails. They should be from me and it'll have the case number on the heading. The landlord today is a Maria Rosales Flores. They are evicting a Monica Marie Davila Salas. And the defendant did not show for court today and has been served.
Okay.
And also, Ms. Flores, I did go ahead and just forward those two emails that you sent me over to the judge. So he
Thank
can
you.
see those documents.
Okay.
Okay, I don't see those yet. There we go. There's the first one. Okay. Okay. Miss, is it Miss Flores?
Yes, sir.
You are seeking to evict a Monica Marie Salas, is that correct?
Correct. And Enrique Rivera.
And I'm sorry, what was that?
Enrique Rivera.
Okay.
There's two people.
Two people. I'm just showing, I'm showing all other occupants. Is he
Okay.
on the lease? Is the one you just
Let me look at we'll have to pull up the case, Judge, and let me look at the paperwork, because if they didn't put him on the case, it's not gonna be on the judgment.
We did. We did.
I'm just showing,
We turned in the document twice before it was delivered to them, and the second time I paid to put Enrique on there.
Okay, then I'll have to adjust the judgment, and I will get that to you in just a second, Judge.
okay,
Proceed with the case, I'll bring it to you. They had to amend it.
okay. Let's see. Miss Flores,
Yes,
I'm showing a monthly rental rate of $1,050.
yes, sir.
And on what grounds are you seeking the eviction this morning?
We're not renewing the contract. It already expired on June the 4th.
Okay, so on non-renewal, okay,
Non-renewal, yes, sir.
okay. And when was the contract up?
June the 4th.
June the 4th, and they have remained even though they received notice to vacate.
Yes, they received more than 30 days notice that this will be happening.
Okay. Have you been in touch with them? Have they been in touch with you?
They've called me once because I don't have their phone numbers. And they said that they wanted to extend their stay another month. And I told them no, they had already been given more than 30 days that this was coming up. And even so, they have not paid anything and we have not accepted any money for this month.
Okay. Okay. Then on the basis of your testimony and the defendant's not appearing this morning, we're going on your testimony alone. Are you seeking any back rent?
We just want to have our house back, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Then bond is set at 1 month's rent, $1,050. And the amount of the judgment is for $0, but there will be the cost of the court costs included on that judgment.
Okay.
And so we are evicting Monica Marie Davila Salas and Enrique Rivera and all other occupants from 2811 30th Street on 6/22/21. And as I mentioned, the judgment is for $0, but with the court costs included.
How much is the court cost?
That's $136.
Okay.
I'm signing that today.
It's 223 on this one because it's two defendants.
Oh, it's two defendants. That's correct. I'm sorry. It's two defendants.
Does the judgment show?
It does not show that.
Once you
I'll pull it
complete the class, we don't care where you take it. You can do it on your phone, you can do it online, or you can do it in a class.
Quick
It
fix,
doesn't
give me
matter
just a
as long
second.
as it's Texas certified. So you'll find a class, as long as it's Texas certified, you'll take it. It's about 6 hours that you have to take it. Then once you're completed, they're gonna give you a certificate. Once you get the certificate, they either email it to you or they'll mail it to you. Anyway, either way, you're gonna bring that back in here. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so the judgment is for $0 plus the court costs of $223. Bond
Okay.
is $1,050. And I am signing that today, June 22nd.
44, did you wanna pay that today, or did you need a payment?
Okay,
Uh,
you ready for the next case, Judge?
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Right here. I
Sir?
need
You have a great day.
Guilty here, no contest.
Excuse me, what is the next step that we need to do?
If you want, you can contact the office here in a little bit. Once we're done with court, maybe give us about an hour, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you.
144.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
You still have to pay separate for the class and separate to get the driving record. Okay. So there's
Okay,
still
next one
other
we're
fees
doing is case number
associated with that.
153.
But as far as today and with the court, you're only paying 144.
It's Coronado Crossing against Rashad Perry. I have Melissa Rains. Melissa Rains is representing Coronado Crossing. Rashad Perry did not appear for court, but was duly served by the constable.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Rains.
Good morning.
You are seeking to evict Rashad Perry, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I'm also showing an Ebony Fitch
Yes, sir.
and all other occupants from 3333 Toledo Avenue, Unit D112.
Yes.
I'm showing a monthly rent of $699. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And on what grounds are you seeking the eviction this morning?
Non-payment of rent.
Non-payment of rent. I'm showing that the defendant has not appeared this morning. So on your testimony, we are proceeding with the eviction. And how much in back rent are you seeking? Back rent alone?
1,398.
Okay. Then the judgment will be for $1,398. And the bond for appeal is set at 1 month's rent, $699. I'm signing that today, June 22nd, 2021.
Okay, any further questions, Melissa?
5% and debit $2.50.
Did you have any additional questions?
No,
We have an ATM machine. There is.
Okay, then thank you very much.
thank you.
Don't have change, so you'll have to have the exact amount of 134 to pay. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
The next one we're gonna do is Justin Wright. We're gonna do, so he has two cases, 151 and 152. 152, we have a defendant, 151, we do not. So we're gonna do 151 first and then 152. And I do have the plaintiff, Justin Wright. He is representing, he's here for Brian Keller. Case number 151, Richard McGregor. The defendant was served by the constable and did not show for court today. And Mr. Wright, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and we'll get started.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Wright.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Let's see. You are seeking to evict Richard McGregor
Yes, sir.
and all other occupants from 3204 Salisbury, Unit A.
That is correct.
I'm showing a monthly rent of $575.
Yes, sir.
And on what grounds are you seeking the eviction this morning?
Rent, unpaid rent.
Unpaid rent, okay. And the defendant has elected not to show this morning. Was a CDC declaration filed?
No, sir.
Okay, none that you're aware of. Okay. And how much in back rent alone are you seeking this morning?
1,025.
1,025. Okay. Then Mr. McGregor is evicted. The judgment is for $1,025 plus the $136 of court costs. Bond is set at $575. That's 1 month's rent. And I am signing that today, June 22nd, 2021. Is there anything further on this case?
No, sir.
Okay.
The
Then,
next case is case number 152 against Tina McCoy. She was served. She is here for court today. Let me go ahead and bring her over.
okay.
Miss McCoy, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll need you to completely mute any background noise because it's going to overtalk anybody else.
Okay.
Okay. I do have you on with the judge and with Justin Wright. He's here for Brian Keller. Case number 2021-625-152. Judge, you can proceed.
Yes, Mr. Wright, you are seeking to evict Tina McCoy and all other occupants from 3204 Salisbury Unit B.
That is correct.
And I'm showing a monthly rent of $650.
Yes, sir.
On what grounds are you seeking the eviction this morning?
Unpaid rent.
Unpaid rent. And what is the amount of that unpaid rent?
$1,800.
And that is rent alone.
That is rent alone. Yes, sir.
Okay. Miss McCoy, do you have a defense this morning?
No, so the only defense I have is to see if I can get the time until the end of this month, since I'm going to be paying for it, to make sure that I get my stuff out. That's the only thing I can do until I can pay you out.
The amount of back rent that is due, this is back rent alone, no additional charges, is $1,800. If you are prepared to pay that, you can talk to the defendant outside of the court. But if you're not prepared to pay that today, then we are proceeding with the eviction. You will have 5 days right to appeal. So that means that a writ of possession cannot be executed until cannot be requested until next Tuesday.
Okay. I did file for Texas rent relief. I'm just waiting to hear back from them to see if they will actually help me out with this.
Did you file a CDC declaration?
I don't know that answer. I filed whatever their paperwork was that they wanted copies of.
I see. And have you been in touch with the landlords, with either Mr. Wright or
Not in the last month, sir, but yes, sir, before then.
okay. Okay. And Mr. Wright, are you wanting to proceed with this eviction?
Yes, sir. I am.
Okay. Then, Ms. McCoy, we are proceeding with the eviction this morning. The judgment will be for $1,800. Bond for appeal is set at $650. I am signing that this morning, June 22nd, 2021. Do we have anything further on this case?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Okay, Judge, last case is case number 149. Wendy Jones is evicting James Burton. Both have appeared for court today.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and bring them over. I have Wendy Jones and James Burton on the virtual courtroom. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, and you can both hear me very well?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. A couple of rules. Make sure you don't speak over each other. Make sure you don't speak to each other. You speak directly to the judge and answer questions accordingly. If there's any background noise that pops up, like dogs barking, sirens going by, make sure you kind of mute yourself for a second and then unmute when it goes away because it will drown out if the judge is speaking, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I am speaking with Wendy Jones.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Ms. Jones, you are representing, you are representing yourself, and you are seeking to evict James Burton and all other occupants from 9920 North Chester Avenue. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
I'm showing a monthly rent of $425. Is that correct?
Yes.
And on what grounds are you seeking the eviction this morning?
Non-payment.
Non-payment of rent. Okay. And Mr. Burton,
Yes, sir.
uh, the eviction is based on non-payment of rent. Pardon me, I need to go back to Ms. Jones. What was the amount of back rent that you are seeking?
I didn't get a copy of all those papers. It was on there. It's like $8,000. He hasn't paid rent. The last payment was May 1st of 2020 for $300. And that was even further. He stopped paying rent September 2019.
I see. Okay, Mr. Burton, do you have a defense this morning?
Yes, sir.
Proceed.
She has it down that she wanted $425 a month, but yet she was asking $500 a month. I get paid every 2 weeks. I was paying $250 every 2 weeks. I have complained since. Now, me and Miss Jones used to be married. And since we have acquired this property, the roof has leaked. And nothing has been done about it. She has said that she would get the roof taken care of. At times, it rains inside just as bad as outside. And I'm tired of dealing with nothing being fixed. It's just me, and as of now, my 2 daughters. I do not receive child support. We live out here because whenever we divorced, she was going to she moved in with the man she's married to now. Okay. So now she was supposed to take a vehicle that we had together, and I was going to stay on the property. And that way my children had stability in their life because they have not had it. Now, with that being said, we lived out here over about a year, maybe a little over, rent free. She never asked for it, nothing, because she was supposed to take the vehicle. Roughly 2 to 3 months after our divorce was final, March of 2018, I believe, she lost her job, could not make the car payment. As both of our names are on the note of that car, I assumed the payments. I had a lady move in with me. She helped make the car payment. Wendy found out that this lady got a decent size death benefits check from her deceased husband. And that's when she started, well, I need rent. And then well, I've tried to do this rent thing, but it's hard to pay rent on something that's leaking. I'm constantly having to work on plumbing. I've spent roughly $1,300 just redoing the sewer line. I hadn't even tried fixing the roof as that I can't afford it. I've been gonna try and do it myself. I just haven't been able to afford the rest of the materials to get it done. Also, with it being said, on the journey in the divorce, it states that she is to assume the journey payments and I was going to assume the things with the house. I ended up.
What is that journey payment? What is that? Is that a vehicle or?
Yes, the Dodge Journey is a 2013 Dodge Journey.
I see. You may proceed.
That journey, whenever I assumed the payments and I finished paying it off just this past April, I finished paying it off, but whenever I assumed taking over the payments from the point that she'd lost her job, I have spent roughly around $13,000 paying that.
That is more than 2 years worth of payments on it that you've made?
Yes. It was 2.5, 3 years, somewhere in there, I believe. I'd have to actually sit down and pull up the receipts and stuff.
And this is a vehicle that Miss Jones uses, that she drives?
No, well, she was driving, and then she could not make the payment, and being both of our names were on the note to keep from going through a repo, I did everything I could to make those payments.
Who has the vehicle?
I do. It's sitting here in the driveway.
Okay. You may proceed. Go on.
Do what? I'm sorry.
Go on, sir. Do you have anything else to say?
Not that I can think of at this moment.
Okay. Ms. Jones, Mr. Burton's testimony, and let me ask just a couple of quick questions here. The children that Mr. Burton has alluded to, are those your children also, or were those from a previous marriage or relationship?
They are his children, and we're ordered to get child support, but it's not enforced from his ex-wife.
I see. And so these are not your children.
No, they are not.
Okay. And do you have a contract with Mr. Burton for the rental?
No, so no, sir. He would not sign a contract. I got one done up in January of 2018. June of 2018. Sorry, June of 2018. Him and the lady who was living with him at the time, Lisa Wires, they refused to sign the contract, the rental agreement. The reason why his rent was only $450 was because they chose to do the repairs themselves rather than us do the repairs. And I have all of that in writing as well. And the reason why they got the journey, it was going to be $600 even if they took it and we did the repairs so that I could cover my expenses. I was told in June that the leak was fixed on the roof. I was told that they did lots of repairs. I asked for the receipts. I never got any of the receipts from them. Then the reason why he got the journey back was because Lisa's car broke and they needed a vehicle. I had another vehicle to drive. So she wanted that. She took the payments over on that. Shortly after that, then the vehicle was taken out of my name. It's nowhere on my credit report. It suddenly disappeared off my credit report where it was obviously refinanced, but where it was at would not give me information because it was not in my name any longer.
Okay.
And he still refused to make any. I mean, he paid some payments sporadically. Yes, he would pay 200 to 250 every other week for about 2 months, and then he would stop. And he said, okay, well, I will catch. In September of 2019, whenever I got remarried, he stopped paying rent. He said he would catch up all of his rent that in January whenever he got his income tax return. When January came around, he didn't catch up any of his rent. All he paid me was that $300 in May. And I haven't seen anything else since that time, since May of 2020. So it's been a year. And I mean, I had imposed in their late fees because it's due on the 15th of every month. However, I mean, he's not paid anything. Every month I would send him a message, hey, do you have any rent? I didn't charge him any of the late fees if he divided out his rent to pay half of the first payment of his first check and then the other half. That was fine. And as long as he was paying something, I wasn't charging him any late fees. He hasn't paid anything since May of 2020.
Okay.
And we're fixing to be in July of 2021. And I still have yet to receive anything.
Now,
And I've asked for keys to get in the house and do extermination to have for mice and all of that. And I was told I can't do any of that. I have no access to the property.
I see. Who is listed on the ownership of the property?
The property is in my family estate. It's my parents' estate. And I'm the executor on that.
I see. I'm showing a monthly rent of $425, but you have shown here in your petition an amount of $8,500, which would be roughly, well, almost 2 years worth of rent. Is that back rent alone, that $425 times what number of months?
Okay, so he stopped paying in September of 2019. At that time, he was back still owing from June. He had caught it up until September, and then from September of 2019 until May, that was from September 2019 until May 2021.
And let's see, go back and count the months here. Let's see, we have 13 months from May of 2021, from May of 2020 to currently in June 2021. And we have then roughly 8 months before that, which would make a grand total of 21 months. Does that sound like
Yes.
that adds up?
Yes.
And 21 months times 425 is very close to your 8,500 then. Okay, then I have no problem with that. Based on testimony from both parties, I am proceeding with the eviction The judgment amount is for $8,500. The bond for appeal is $425. And I am signing that today, June 22nd, 2021. The judgment is for $8,500 plus the court costs. And bond is $425. Thank you, and we are finished with that this morning.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
When does he have to be out of the off of the property?
He has a 5-day right to appeal, and that would take it until you could file for a writ of possession on next Tuesday.
Okay. And if he doesn't take whatever, if he leaves things on the property, what happens to the belongings?
That's all information that you're going to have to call the court on. That's not information the judge can answer
Okay.
during the hearing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to go ahead and remove both of you from the meeting. If you have any questions, feel free to call the office.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay. That's it, huh?
That's it.
Okay.